Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to the Scale Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. Sorry for the delay there. Yeah, hope everyone can hear me just fine, and hope you're having an excellent Tuesday. Welcome to Lightroom Live. This is the show where I take your photos from the internet, and I bring them into Adobe Lightroom. We do a little color correction, we talk about what we're doing, and then we send them back to you. It's pretty simple. If you want to submit your photos to my color correcting chops, send them to submissions@scalebuildersguild.com, and we'll get going here. Make sure everyone can hear me just fine and see me just fine as well, I presume. Check in, let me know where you're watching from, and we'll jump over to old Lightroom here and get started. I hope everybody's having a great Tuesday, and yeah, it's almost midweek, which is a good start. I noticed in the chat, before we get started, I noticed in the chat here that a lot of folks are talking about how cold it is going outside, trying to shoot their photos, trying to play with tiny trucks in this colder weather. If you are in a colder climate, of course, there is a lot of places on this planet where it's still quite warm. But if you are in a colder environment, I'm going to have a video for you this week, hopefully, maybe even Saturday, maybe even earlier than that, about what you can do to help keep yourself a bit warmer. So definitely pay attention for that. And yes, it's going to be a good one. Cool products for sure. Yes, this is my best shock jock impression. Hey, maybe we'll do like a pillow talk episode. Yeah, maybe not. Let's go over to the app. Let's go over to the app. There we go. And I'm going to move this microphone because it's slightly in the way here. And we've got a special, this is a special episode today because RC Cinematics. And if you're not following Ed on, sorry, I'm just figuring out where I should look. If you're not following Ed on Instagram, you should be. RC Cinematics does some really great photos of his tiny trucks, and he does some really great color correction too. And with that in mind, I wanted to kind of give a guest spot to somebody. And Ed and I chatted a little bit a couple weeks back, and I sent him 6 photos this week that I let him correct. So we're going to go through those together, and we'll sort of talk a little bit about what he did and what he did differently and all the really cool stuff that kind of goes with color correction, and I'll sort of critique what he's done, and we'll talk about everything. So yeah, RC Cinematics, that's Ed Main, who is in the chat right now. So thank you, Ed, for participating. I think it's going to be really great. Let's start with the thumbnail, and then we'll go back to chronological order. I think that's actually a good way to do it. That's sort of one of the things I've been talking about is, making sure I'm doing these in chronological order as they came in and getting them all done. And I'm definitely going to be doing that. That's going to be the focus for 2021. But the thumbnail is always going to be sort of like my pick of the week, or however you want to put it. So yeah, let's find that thumbnail photo. Here it is right here. This one's from Artem, who is a Scale Builders Guild member. He's also, I think it's Mevitation on Instagram. And he's done some pretty killer builds. You might recognize this Wrangler from such builds as that 8x8. This was actually on the back of that thing. So you should definitely check out Mevitation. I think that's what it is. I hope I'm not getting that wrong. Let me look it up on the old instant telegram phone. Mevitation. Yes, Mevitation. Which I'm sure you can't see, so there it is right there. Mevitation. Cool? Cool. All right, back to the app. Nice photo of a very nice looking little Wrangler. I love this Tamiya body. This YJ body is the best. And I should, it's kind of, it makes me feel like I should do another one of these. I did a CJ conversion for GCM actually using Giuseppe's parts from rccrawler.it, um, and converted one of these Wranglers into an older, so YJ to CJ. And that was a fun conversion. Very, very cool stuff. All right, let's go over to the develop side here. And I'll pepper in some of Ed's corrections, and we can talk about those as we're going through the stuff today. All right. General hobbies, if somebody sent in a mud truck, I'd be happy to do a mud truck. Hi, Mike J. Moves mic and audio crashes. Can you imagine? Boy, that would be terrible. All right, let's start correcting this photo. Um, hmm. Well, first things first, I think I'm going to change our white balance to be a little bit cooler, sort of match our environment a little bit more. I mean, it's nice when it's warm, but it doesn't feel quite right for this snowy kind of scene. So let's kind of go there with that. And I think we're going to bring our exposure down a little bit too. And then highlights I'm going to bring down as well. And what that does instantly, you can see it if we go full screen here for a moment. You can see it in the texture of the snow. Let me just roll that back. And then there it is. You really get a good sense that there's something happening there in the snow, which is pretty cool. Anything to help kind of make it feel a bit smaller in terms of its density, so it kind of fits better with the tiny truck, is always good. Shadows I feel pretty good about. Whites, I'm just going to bring that back up a touch. And let's see about a little bit of texture. So you really start to feel that snow, and a tiny bit of clarity, not too much for this one. Vibrance, I'm going to amp that up a little bit as well. And saturation 2. And that's sort of just the base correction. Now I'm going to go into our HSL sliders, and I'm going to go into our saturation and pull down our red just a little bit so it's not so hyper. Same thing with orange, but just a little bit on that one. And then aqua, I'm going to amplify that and blue as well. Then I'm going to go into our hue slider. You like the crop on this one, Ed? Yeah, I didn't even really have to do anything to this one. It's a good framing. I like when it's a truck from like a 3/4 rear like this. I like seeing a little more background to this side, to the left side. Oh, Craig, this is not trash. This is beyond trash. What's worse than trash? The show, right? Yeah, exactly, Ed. It's got a good feeling of motion, like it's going to be attacking those trails. I think it looks really great. Hue, I'm going to see if I can swing a little more blue in there. It's not a ton. It's a weird color of blue. So there we go. That's a little bit better, maybe. Yeah, I don't want to mess with it too much because there is some magenta in there as well. Or purple, is it? Yeah, a little bit. Okay, that's probably good. Right there. I'm just trying to get it a little bit closer into some of the trees, but I don't think it's going to get there. We'll just leave it where it is. All right, next. I'll do a little paint. Just bring up our truck a little bit more. Put some more saturation back in there. Cool off that window. There we go. That's sort of what I was trying to get at. The blues. And exposure up a little tiny bit as well. Cool it off further. There we go. That's popping a little bit more now. Let's do a grad filter through the sky and trees here. And we're going to saturate that up a little bit. Cool it off again. So there's a hint of warmth in the sky. All right. One more window here, just a radial, just around our headlight here. Oops, that's the wrong tool. There we go. Pull that down there. Just desatching it a little bit so it's not so hot. There we go. Better. All right. I don't think we need a vignette. I don't think we're going to do much. It's not going to do much good. Maybe a light one. Yeah, we'll keep the light one on there. All right. That's looking pretty good, I think. Let's go full screen. Take a look at this. Before. Sort of flat, just kind of a flat sort of correction there, but nothing wrong with it specifically. It's great, great framing. Composition's really nice. Subject is amazing. I love the look of this truck. And there we go. Just a little kind of amplification overall. Before, after. That looks pretty awesome. That's a great looking truck. Great photo. Thank you, Artem, for your participation and your submission. I think that looks pretty rad. Oh, hey, Quack RC, thank you very much for the $5. Hey there, man. Great review and run on the Wrangler. Wrangler F100. I know I have to wait, and that's fair as well. Hope all is well. Yes, definitely. F100's in here somewhere. Like it is every week. I swear I'm going to get to it eventually. Yes, many of you probably caught my review of that RC four-wheel drive Wrangler Rubicon, or Rubinaut, as I called it. Yeah, I think that review speaks for itself. It's definitely a worthy attempt, and I think I see what they were going for. Just kind of missed the mark in a few places. Great first photo. Let's go on to the next one, which is the first one in our series here. So Jake Hatcher sent along this photo here of his, what is that? What do they call that body? I can't remember what this body is now. Somebody help me out. The Axial, which that looks like it's Portal TRX4. That's a TRX4, but that's an Axial body. I can never remember the name of it. Hello, Josh. Always vignette. Oh, okay. Unclog. Forward cab. FC, that's right. Thank you, guys. I knew it was something like that, or did I? Let's start by adjusting our horizon on this photo from Jake Hatcher. Just a slight rotation should get us a little bit better. There we go. Maybe even there. And remember, if you're doing a pretty extreme rotation like I'm doing here, you'll get these white edges around it. So you have to constrain that crop, and then it shows where it's going to be, and you hit done, and then it's done. Yeah, this is a cool photo. I like the background. I like the rock face that this truck is on. It is pretty wide. Like you're getting a pretty big background here. I wonder if we can kind of help this photo a little bit by giving it a more aggressive crop. Maybe if we do something like this, that might help. And just kind of position this truck a little more outside of the rule of thirds, but still in a kind of interesting kind of position. See, I think that helps a fair bit. Ed was suggesting we do a little dehaze. which I'm going to do, and that helps a lot. We're also going to go into our exposure and kind of leave that a little bit left of center. Contrast, I'm going to keep that where it is. I'll increase that a little bit. Highlights, I'm going to pull those down a little. So weird how that always happens. Looks like we're back. Are we back? And how about now? Somebody let me know if it's back. Yes. Okay. I know what the problem is. Every time that's happened, it's when I have Premiere open. So, rule of thumb, quit Premiere before I start this stream. It's such a weird one. Anyway, we're back. So that's good. Just doing some lightening up of just the truck itself. Maybe not that part. I'll do that instead. This right there. That right there. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lift our exposure a little bit. It's when the toilet flushes. Yeah, Mike J. Premiere is my editing software that I run. Yeah, everything seems fine now, so I'm glad we're good. Did you say assuming high class porn up? No, it's not that. Seem to be fine again. All right, back to this photo. Saturation, we're going to boost up just on the truck. This is only affecting the truck. And where's my shadow slider? I wanted to pull that up a little bit too, just so we can see a bit more detail there. It is breaking down because I don't think this is a massive photo, but I just want to get a little bit more of that grill and dropped axle there. So that was sort of the goal, and I think that's sort of working. What we're going to do is pull down the saturation on our reds. So that's a little in your face. See if oranges come down with it. There we go. Sky's looking pretty good. I think I'll still pull a grad in there though. And go a little more blue for saturate. Whoa. Way too blue. Feels a little artificial there because it isn't a high-res photo, so we're going to keep it kind of there instead. Oh, thank you, John Darrigan, for the $5. Thanks for the pics. I'd like to post on this Scale Builders Guild forum, but I don't know if my builds are worthy. John, everyone's builds are worthy. There is no prerequisite for participating in the SBG forums. There are a lot of great builds there, no doubt, but the best place to put them up is on a place where there are good builds, so you can maybe learn a few things, or people might suggest something or give you some tips that you might not have known about. It's a really welcoming community, and it's not like Pirate 4x4 or anything where you get flamed for not knowing everything. People are very helpful there, myself included, and you can learn an awful lot. So I would not shy away from doing that. All right. That sky really doesn't like that very much. So we go there, we can de-sharpen. Now we can play with it a little bit. That's better. Okay. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. All right, let's do a little work on these rocks here by adding texture and a little clarity. And we'll go down to our sliders here, saturation, bring our yellows up a little bit so we get some warmth in those rocks. And a little bit more orange back in too. That's looking pretty cool. Let's adjust the hue of some of these things. Background looks really good. Actually, let me move this around a little bit more. There we go. And I'm just using our midtone slider here. You can see it happening down this area over here. And that's just kind of giving all of the mids, which are not shadows or highlights, a bit more of an orange glow. And then for saturation on green, I'm going to pull that up a little bit more just so our truck really pops. And I think I'm feeling pretty good about that one. All right, let's get a look at that full screen for a minute. Yeah, cool. I like that framing. Before, after. Before, after. Yeah, I think that green kind of works really well, and complementing that green with a bit of the yellow and orange in the rocks is sort of a nice kind of contrast. It's like not contrast, it's more of a, a good looking sort of complement, I think. The sky did fall down a little bit because, like I said, it's not a massive photo. There is some pixelization up in here, but I think it's working pretty good. All right, so thank you, Jake, for that submission. I think that's working out pretty well. Let's go into how did I set this up? I think I put it in. Hold on. Did I put? I want to find out where I put the photos that Ed did. Okay, these are the originals. So where are the, okay, all right, here we go. Okay, I wanted to figure this out. So here's Ed's first one. This is just RC's. Also a Jeep. That's a YJ as well. Very cool. Very nice looking truck. Let's go real quick to the original of that photo. So there's the original. Let me go full screen. And you can tell it's pretty contrasty, pretty dark, front lit. Sun's somewhere up here. And what Ed's done, and he loves that Jeep, by the way. Definitely thrown a lot more saturation at it. Definitely added texture and clarity. I've done a huge shift, it looks like, on the greens, but really just amped up the whole look of the truck. You get a much better sense of the richness of that paint. It looks like sort of like an orange or burnt orange metallic. Looks really great. Ed, why don't you, if you could, tell me how right I was on what you did there in terms of the changes you made. And Ed, these aren't Ed's photos, so Ed's not going to be able to tell you any of the details of the truck. This one belongs to Just RC. Really tried to make it pop off the screen. Yeah. General hobbies. You submit photos to the email address submissions@scalebuildersguild.com, and that link is also in the description. Oh, dead on. All right, cool. I'm glad I was right. I think you did a great job. I really like it. You didn't have to crop or anything, and I don't think there was any removal of anything either, was there? I don't see any additional leaves or anything that was in the way. But I think it looks great. I really like how much more. Oops. How much better it is. Yeah, I think that looks great. No crop, nothing. Okay, awesome. Great job. Looks amazing. All right, let's do another one. This one's from Kyle Roberts. Looks to be a Vanquish VS410. Um, yeah, looks like a forest green, perhaps. Let's see if we can't pull something more out of this one. Definitely going to do a bit of a crop on this one. I think these are the sorts of photos when they're like tall like this, where I like to make it even more extremely tall. And we'll actually just maybe pull a little bit of that out of there too. Now we're going to go a little more rule of thirds. And now it feels like it's approaching something kind of nefarious or kind of scary for this truck. So let's see what we can do here. First of all, let's go white balance and go a little bit warmer overall. Maybe even tint it slightly towards green there. Keep our exposure kind of where it is, maybe a little bit higher up. A little more contrast, but I think we're going to have to, before we get too far into this, we're definitely going to have to do something to get that truck to pop a little bit more. Because green truck, backlit, dark foreground, dark background, it's going to be a bit of a challenge for sure. Get our black point up a little bit. Bring some texture. A little bit of clarity and some vibrance. Definitely saturation too, because I think that'll help. Now let's window the truck itself. We're going to see you can already get a little more detail out of it just by raising the exposure. And definitely bring our shadows up as well. Saturation. Texture. You can see that texture is just affecting the actual truck. Oh, now we see that there's bronze wheels on there. Let's see what we can do about that. Yeah, I'm going to get to all the leaves and stuff here in a second. A little tough with these not super high res photos. I tell you that for sure. Okay. There we go. Done with that. See what we can do about these wheels. I don't know that we'll get much. There might be something in there. It's a really tight little window. Duplicate that. Oops. There we go. Okay, let's back out of that. Paint out some leaves. Hi everybody. Sorry, I'm deeply focused on this. Want to make good pictures. like getting rid of these leaves. I think this is working. One more. Yes. Yes. There we go. That looks pretty good. Hi, Sam Cyanide. I don't know of any good, uh, other than the TRX6 6x6. I don't know of a lot of bodies for 6x6s. Hasn't been a huge market for that, which is why Pardon My New built me my own uh, XJ 6x6. Full screen on that. There we go. Before, after, before, after. I think that's a pretty significant improvement. That looks pretty good. Yeah, Robbie, there wasn't a lot of detail in there. I'm not going to lie. But I think that's a pretty decent improvement. I think that looks pretty good. Nice pick, Kyle Roberts. Thank you very much for your submission. Again, if you'd like to submit your own photos, submissions at scalebuildersguild.com. Let's do another. Actually, before we do that, let's go to a Ed Main RC Cinematics photo here. Down to the bottom. The next one Ed was responsible for was this one from Jerome Simons of another VS410 Pro. Some nice Vanquish wheels. Ed's definitely got his sort of sunset filter on this one. Really like where the sun's coming from and how much detail Ed was able to pull out from the shadowed side of the vehicle. Really like how this one looks. There's so much warmth, but also really nice, rich, deep greens without getting them all golden. I think that looks really, really cool. Let's take a look at the original, because this for me is like just as much fun. How do we do this again? Oh, here we go. There's the original photo. Wow. Nice crop now that I see the original photo as well. We've got some deck chairs or something over on this side. That's pretty cool to see all of that gone. Yeah, what a difference. What a difference. Nice crop. Yeah. Really nicely done, Ed. Ed. I love it. Good job. And Jerome, thank you for your submission. It's something on the left in the back. Let me take another look. Oh yeah, it's like maybe a backpack or something. Yeah, that's awesome. Great job. Really like that one. Nicely done. All right. On to Tyler Robinson's June FAQ. What is this? Oh, this is looks like a couple of different trucks. I know that's the G-Made bomb cab. I'm not sure what interior that is, or what truck this is. Is that an SCX-10 2? I don't think it's actually a. It's got trailing arms, so I don't think that's a bomb. Regardless, nice looking truck. Nice cut on that fender too. Looks like there's some Proline bedsides from a Power Wagon on here, maybe? There's a nice little combination of a bunch of different trucks on here. Looks good. Nice pick there, Tyler. Thank you for your submission. All right, let's get into this one here. So first things first, let's go super sunny on this one. We're gonna do a warm shadow. That's where we're gonna start. on this one here. And we're going to do RC Cinematics special on this one. But we're going to try to keep the truck still looking kind of clean in the blues. Toss some warmth at it though. Ooh, yes, there we go. It's already feeling pretty cool. Let's get rid of this tiny little leafy thing here. There we go. And then let's go down to our mids and push that even more warm. Somewhere in there. Maybe go back to our highlights and pull those down a little bit. Pull them down even further over here. Go into our luminance on our oranges, pull those down, pull our yellows down too. Now we're getting some real sunsetty kind of look here. Those rocks are still pretty hot though. I wonder if I can pull those down even further. Yeah, that might work. Feels a bit artificial, but back to our greens here and our hue on those. Sort of like split the difference there on that sunset. Grain vignette and we're done. I like the sound of that. Medium and medium. I think that feels pretty cool. No theme really tonight, Haney. Just sort of having some fun. RC Cinematics on Instagram, also known as Ed Main in the chat here. I got him to do some photos. He is quite an accomplished photographer himself, and definitely someone that I respect and wanted to incorporate into this show. So he took 6 photos and corrected those for me, and kind of going through these together. Yeah, definitely Quack RC. It looks like a nice, fun place to crawl. Great photo, Tyler. Thank you very much for your submission. That was an easy one. Let's go full screen. It looks awesome. That's great. And before, before, that's a pretty massive difference. And after, loving that one. Really nice. Very cool. Thank you for your submission. All right, let's go over to another one of Ed's photos here. This one was from RC Adventurer. And it is quite the wraith. That is an aluminum out wraith. He's wraithing on the rocks. Hey, Juanrico, thanks for the $4.99, my man. Much appreciated. I love doing this. This is so much fun. I'm glad that everybody gets an opportunity to participate and have some fun and check out some cool pics of some cool RCs. Very cool pic. Let's see where this one started here. So a lot flatter, a little bit of a crop, I think, as well on that one, Ed. And it's such, yeah, you're right. The colors, such a nice contrast between the red and the silver and the really rich dark green that you got going on there. Nice crop too. Just looks great. Definitely some clarity and awesome. Yeah, I love seeing Wild Willie figures in other vehicles. I actually used a Wild Willie body and the head from, where was he from? I think he might have been one of my Beetle Lover resin heads in my Wraith when I first got it. I used a Bronco Tamiya body that I chopped up that looked, I was, well, for the time, I was pretty happy with it. Hey, Sean's RC Adventures got your photo back today. It's amazing. Thank you. No, thank you. Much appreciated. Another nice one from you, Ed. Looks really good. A lot of changes on that. Pretty undersaturated in the original, so you got a lot of stuff out of it. Let's go full screen for a second there. Yeah, looks great. Well, Marcus, I hope that we're living up to your expectations. There's a lot of cool RC trucks out there, and a lot of really great submissions come my way every week. I'm really honored that so many people participate in this live stream, and it's something that I really enjoy doing. I'm actually looking at getting some additional gear to make this even easier because I got to tell you, I'm getting quite the claw here from holding my mouse. I mean, because I work all day long, I sit in front of this computer most of the day, and carpal tunnel is definitely setting in. So I was looking at getting a board that has sliders so I can do all these color adjustments without the mouse. Anyway, something I'm considering. And if you guys are into these streams, then, it might be a worthwhile investment for me. Okay, let's go on to another one. This one's from Joel Hull. And lucky for all of us, it's a Nissan Patrol. These bodies are amazing. This looks like it is an MFAB 3D printed body that he's done a really nice job of finishing. Not a huge photo, but still a really awesome truck. I love Nissan Patrols. I scratch built an earlier model a bunch of years ago and gave it away actually at one of the RC 4-wheel drive East Coast Scale Challenge events. Part of my noob also did, what did he do? A Toyota Blizzard. You'll have to Google that one. Yeah. Any whoosies. Let's do a little correction on this one. It's definitely going to need a bit of a rotation, I think. Our horizon line's a little bit out of whack, and I wouldn't mind getting it sort of closer to the real deal. Somewhere around there looks about right. Constrain that. There we go. Thanks, General Hobbies. I really enjoy doing it. Have a good one there, Rizzy. 643 Rizzy. All right. Where was I? This looks like it's been pre-processed in some way. Like there's a what's that thing you can do where it makes everything look small on Instagram? Stand by while I faux create something here. Edit. Tilt shift. That's what I was looking for. It looks like it's got a bit of a tilt shift filter on it because some things are out of focus and other things aren't. It's almost like something going on here. Anyway, let's just fix the photo, huh? A little warmer, I think, overall in our white balance. Exposure's good. I mean, there's not a lot of definition in the sky anyway. We probably won't be able to get much on there. Gonna contrast it up a little bit. Pull our highlights down a touch. Pull our shadows down a little bit too. Definitely amp up our texture. It should almost be called the Ed main button. A little bit of clarity, and we'll put some more saturation in there. One tip for aspiring photographers of tiny trucks: when you're shooting a photo like this, try your best to not use a shot where you can see different rocks. Like this is not, you wouldn't see this kind of thing in nature so much. I mean, we could try to crop like that. That might help actually. Yeah, that to me feels a lot more natural now. because when you see all kinds of different rocks just stacked up like that, it's gonna look quite obvious that it's not real. But now that we've gotten rid of that kind of offending rock down at the bottom there, now it feels a bit more natural. And in fact, if I were doing a Photoshop job on this, I would probably extend some of these rocks so they kind of carried over into there. I mean, I could try to duplicate it, but I don't know how well that would work. It's probably going to look terrible. Yeah, because it doesn't understand what I'm trying to do. So probably not what we're going to do here. But definitely something you could do. Are you talking about this stick over here? Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Back to the photo. Let's get the saturation up on that red. See if we can't bring up the luminance of it too without it feeling too unnatural. It's tough because this photo is pretty low resolution, as you can see. Maybe if we do a little bit of this here. There we go. That's not too bad. Yes, definitely a little bit of OCD, I won't lie. Maybe a little less texture, a little less clarity too, just in that one window. That's feeling a little bit better. This one's challenging, without a doubt. But I think we're getting there. I think we're getting there. Why so zoomed out? Sam, I'm not zoomed out. This is the size of the photo. I mean, I can go to that, but it gets quite pixelated for me. So that's where the photo is. Somebody was asking about these tires. They look like Proline TSLs. Crop the info on the right. Yeah, like that, you mean? I can live with that. That feels better. I think for the size of the photo, what we're dealing with, that's not so bad. Full screen. You can really see how pixelated it is there. Before, after. I think that's I think that's about as good as we can expect. Great looking truck though. I'd love to see more of it. So Joel, if you're out there, be sure to send a few more photos my way. Before, after. All right. Let's go back to Ed's photos. I like this. This is fun. A little bit of back and forth here. Take care, Marcus. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping in. This one comes from David Prill, Wrangler JL Rubicon from Axial SCX-10.3 with my favorite tires on. This one's, they're all good. They're all good. Great job. A Scale Builders Guild sticker on there. And that's probably one of my bumper stickers. I can't read it though. Darn it. Could be one of mine. Let's see what that one looks like before. Oh, the sun rays coming in there are really nice. Those are really cool. There's the before. So pretty extreme crop. Interesting, Ed. Oh, Vidjo, you made it. Thank goodness. Big Red Bitch. Yes, I am going in order. These ones I gave to Ed, they were all in order too. So these are all earlier ones. Yes, I promise that I will do that. Dana, I wanted to say to you, sir, your last video or your last couple of videos, I think you were following my tips from my stories on the weekend. Great job. They look fantastic. Keep up the good work. That Trail King actually looks quite good in the snow too. I wish I had enough snow here to get my blizzard back out, but it's the darn sticker. Yay! It is the darns. I sure don't give a care or something. So that's the before, and this is Ed's crop afterwards and his correction, which I think looks fantastic. I see you also brought the red down on the pumpkin, as I do fairly frequently. But it looks great. I really like the sun flares. I think that was a nice choice. I like the orange on orange too. That works pretty well. You were fewing the tires. Yeah. It points off instantly if anybody gets the orientation of the Wrangler MTR wrong around me. In fact, if I were judging a comp, that's an automatic -1. Great job on that one, Ed. Thanks a lot for your participation. That one was from David Prill. All right, let's go on to the next one. Highway to Hell submitted this Flexing Out Friday picture, which, wow, that's pretty deep in a hole. He's digging his way out. I love the texture of these rocks. It's like sandstone. No, Mike, we had snow. It's still bloody cold here. Just no snow right now. It all melted. But this looks great. Is this also an element? Yes. 2-element Enduro Senderos. They look like they're twins. I wonder if he's copied it, like comped another one in. Oh, they're slightly different bed trays, but nice looking trucks nonetheless. Love the background. I actually kind of like the tilt that's on this angle. I don't think we're going to try to correct horizon because this is intentional, obviously. So let's go warmer because, and then let's pull down our exposure a little bit, see if our highlights won't, I don't know if there's anything in there, so maybe we'll just leave that. Go a little bit deeper on our shadows. Hi, Tamiya USA. How are you? Is it the real Tamiya USA? Is it Tony? I hope so. Crop a little off the right. Yes, possibly. Possibly. That's the first thing that's ever gone wrong. Yeah, I'm good with that. Where was I? Texture and clarity. It is Tony. Hi, Tone. No, not Tony. Okay, well, hello to Tamiya USA. Tamiya USA. Thank you for checking in. Very nice to see you here. Thanks for all the great products for the last 50 years. Uh, Tamiya came to tell you your semi's better. Uh, I'm sure they just wanted to say that because they knew you were here. Switch to a Tamiya truck. Hurry. Tommy's Tommy's out counting plugins. Yes. Tamiya, how is? Oh, Fred, the head of marketing. Welcome, Fred. I think we have you to thank. So thank you. Um, okay, let's get back to this photo real quick. Saturation. Look at just what a tiny bit of saturation does right off the bat. I love it. These rocks are the best. Should we go more clarity? Yes. Pull our black point down a little bit? Yes. These sun hits are nice. I wish this highlight wasn't here. It's a little brutal, but man, oh man. Robbie, you know what I mean. uh yeah. My Cyberpunk's semi is looking pretty good so far. Pretty stoked on that one. Let's amplify. Let's pull the luminance down on our greens because what that does is just kind of introduces a bit more richness into those sand ladders, which is on both trucks. This is like father-son out with their trucks? I wish I knew. Is Highway to Hell still on? Or has he been in? Somebody reach out and let him know that we're correcting his photos. Okay. Saturation wise, let's go a little more orange overall because orange and green are complementary colors, I think. Yes. See if there's any red anywhere. Not really. A little bit in the taillights. Greens are pretty good where they are. A little bit of aqua because there is a little bit of blue coming in from wherever the light sources are. Can feel it in the truck itself. This is art. This photo. Let's throw a medium vignette on that one to help those textures in those rocks. And gosh, man, I don't know. I think we might be good. Full screen on that one. Before, after. I'm feeling it. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Definitely an axle twister, pure life. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I think that's pretty good. Before, after. Just kind of amp up the photo a little bit. Makes it feel more real. It's more realer. All right, what time is it? 9:30. Okay, we got a couple more from Ed here. I think two more, in fact. So let's jump over to one of those next. This one's from Greg Lozer. What truck is this? What truck is this? I don't know. Red Cat? Maybe? I honestly don't recognize any of these parts. Aluminum? Yeah, Ed, you couldn't figure it out either, huh? We got an SSD sticker on a winch, which didn't come from an SSD truck. A bumper I don't recognize. Now I know that the body is a Scout. Uh, Greg, what truck is this? Oh, maybe it's the Wendigo custom TRX 4 axles. I've never seen that pumpkin before. GRC housings. Leave it to Josh to know exactly what housing it is. Anyway, uh, yeah, that's the CGR body, which I do quite like that body. It's a good old Proline body. Let's see the before on this one. Okay, so a bit of a crop, definitely more washed out. Some nice work done to get some texture and some saturation out of it. Ooh, yeah, Ed, I think you did a great job on this one. Nice warmth, warm tones in the rocks, but still some clarity as well, texture. That's really good. The green works with this red. I think it looks pretty good. That's good. That's a good one. One more time before. Let's go full screen. Before, after. Yeah, it's a good crop too. It makes it feel a lot more aggressive. Yeah, Josh, how could you tell with such a light vignette? That is an interesting axle. I'll give him that. Nicely done. Okay. Um, let's crank through another one here. This one's from Corey DeHaan. And what have we got here? This is an interesting looking truck that I can't say I've ever seen before. What is this? Is this what I think it is? Is this a capo? Josh, is this a capo? JK Maxx. Just kidding. Just kidding, Maxwell. Capo JK Maxx. Look, it's finished. This is what they look like when they're done, Josh. That's actually a series you should bring back. Can you just imagine how many views you would get on that, Josh? I'm finally finishing my capo. I don't think I've ever seen one of these outside of RC Sparks before. I didn't know you could get one, to be honest. But it doesn't look half bad. I mean, this frame is weird, but oh, is this the one that has hydraulic steering, but it's just a wire on a servo? You have the OG capo. You still have it though, right? Because you should get it out, finish it. I'm just saying. Oh, there's Corey right there. It breaks a lot. I'm sorry, dude. That's brutal. I'm sorry to hear that. I really am. But we're gonna, you know what? We're gonna make the photo look amazing. Saw one on eBay for $3,000. Corey, thank you for submitting the photo, man. I am looking forward to making it look amazing for you. Just gonna give it a little tiny crop. I don't doubt it, Mike J. A lot of people in our hobby started at RC Sparks. It's just the place to start. And I mean, you can't fault the guy. He puts out amazing videos all the time and gets all the latest stuff and does some really fun things. So I think anybody that's promoting this hobby in a positive light is doing a good thing. Yeah, it does look pretty sharp. I don't disagree, Reggie. Gonna make it look even sharper. Just sort of playing around a little bit here. I get milk in a bag. Well, actually, I don't buy milk. It's not high on my list of things that I like. Already, I think we're bringing this photo to life. I think I'll give it another crop. I think I'll just crop out a little bit of this here so we get a little more rule of thirds so the truck is sort of centered in the frame a bit more. Yeah, that's feeling better. I love the contrast between the greens and the browns and oranges. Where's my saturation slider? I'm going to bring this blue. I'm going to pop it. Pow! Pow pow! Nice metallic blue going on here. Probably a little bit out of spec from where your actual color is, but I want to make it hyper realistic. Just bringing some more. Yeah, I'll get to the driver here in a second. That's a good call. There we go. Don't want to bring too much attention to him. There we go. Noise. What else? Did I hit the texture and the clarity? No. Oh, yeah. Huh? Huh? Uh, the 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 good old fashioned wench line. Highway to Hell. I don't know if I did check yesterday's emails. I think I might have. We just finished correcting your photo. Did you know that? We did one of yours today, Highway to Hell. We just did it. And I wanted to ask you about, since you're here now, before we finish with Corey's here. Um, is this like your father-son duo on these two? So let me know. I was curious about that. Let's, since you're here, full screen, before and after. Before, after. All right. Just you and a mate. Well, that's pretty cool, man. Because you both have basically the same truck. Right on. Very cool. All right. Let's get back to this one. I feel like I'm getting pretty close because it's looking pretty darn good. Oh, okay, cool. I'll definitely check it out. Fred from Tamiya. There's a hat that you guys had on your site that I'd really like to get. Um, is it still there? It's like a flat brim, simple logo, white on black, I think. Let me know because I really want one. Okay. Um, I feel like I'm pretty close. I just want to check the luminance of our greens here, just to kind of center your eye. I'm just darkening them down. Can you see that happening in real time? Whoosh. Yeah, that feels a lot better now. I like that most of the branches feel pretty in scale. Everything looks pretty good there. Maybe we'll just try to get rid of this leaf because it's the most leafy. I don't know. Don't listen to me anymore. Yeah, there we go. All right. Yes, thank you, Fred. Thank you so much. Tamiya for the win. Okay, let's. J King RC, that's the best. I love it. Uh, let's take a look at that. Before, Corey, hope you're still watching. After. This might be the photo of the week. I'm putting it out there right now because we're almost at the end, I think. It's 9:40. Oh my gosh. Okay. Uh one more before, after. Everything about that looks great. I'm really pleased with how that one's turned out. Thank you, Corey, for your submission. Sorry it took so long to get to, but we're getting through them. 2021 is the year of chronological order. Very pleased with that photo. Thank you for submission. If you are out there watching, you're like, what do you mean submission? Submissions at scalebuildersguild.com. Send me your photos of your tiny trucks and we'll look at them, uh, probably drool over them in some regard, and then I'll correct them and I send them back to you next week. So you can put them up on your Instagram. Be sure to tag Scale Builders Guild in all the photos, wherever you put them, Facebook, Instagram, um, MySpace, whatever. Uh, put them up and tag us because I love seeing you guys put up your photos. Put them in your stories too. Why not? I think we have one more from Ed. Ed Main, RC Cinematics. Be sure you're following him on Instagram for some kick-ass photos. And here's Ed's final photo that he corrected for me. This is Stephen Davis's truck. which appears to be some sort of truck. I love the diamond plate. I love the fabricated rear tailgate bed honcho style truggy look. What is this? Some kind of Ford or Chevrolet? Maybe a Chevy. Yeah, put it in your ICQ. Some nice warm sun, beautiful blue sky. Let's see what the original photo looked like. Wow, stark contrast there for sure. The 1970 truck. It's the Ford F-30. 66K10. Thank you, Evan. Very nice. It's a good looking truck. I like the Steelies on here. It's like Steelies are one of those wheels that can either look really out of place or perfect on a truck. And I think they look perfect on this truck. Let's see Ed's correction and recrop there. That's great. Nice saturation levels. There's even some vegetation in here I didn't see before, which looks really great. Nice warm, beautiful blue sky. Get some nice cloud cover in there too. Everything about this looks great. Really, really nice job, Ed. I don't think I would have done anything differently. Maybe pull the reds down a little bit. I know that I tend to complain about the buzziness of a red. This looks a little buzzy to me, but otherwise, you did awesome stuff. I really appreciate having a guest to help me get ahead of the game. Lots of clarity. Yes, of course. All right. Where are we at here? How many have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I use 7? I must have done. No, I didn't do 7. I did 6. Okay, let's do 7. One more. I will definitely keep them coming, Ed. Thank you very much. Let's do this one from Trevor Lee. Nice poser shot of a JK. Well, is it a JK? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, if it were RC four-wheel drive, uh, it would. Let's see if I can. If there's an option for this. It would just have one of these over the front, probably. That's mean. That's mean. Don't do that. All right. Uh, that's actually, you know what, Sam? That could be a great episode. Um, yeah, true enough, Josh. Um, Send me pics of a real truck and trick me into thinking it's an RC. That would be great because we do have a sub forum on the forum called uh, Fooled Me or Almost Fooled Me. Fooled Me? I think it's Fooled Me, where people try to post pictures of like really good looking scale accurate trucks in good accurate environments and try to fool people. So that could be a thing. We could definitely look at doing something like that. That would be a lot of fun, actually. Real truck or fake truck? Real fake small truck. Um, all right. Let's do this. Let's do this thing. Just a little crop, not a big one. Fool me once, shame on me. Shame on no. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't fool me again. This is a very nicely detailed model, though. I love the roll cage on here. I've never seen this one before. This is the China JK body, I believe, by the grill and the headlights. It's not a New Bright. Um, the flat paint, everything about this looks really, really good. Uh, yeah, the stance is nice. The kind of the saggy foam, it works really well. That just looks great. The man inside is pretty good. I love it. It's really good. All right. White balance is shot. I'm going to leave it because this is a JPEG with a white balance embedded. Huh? All right. I'm not going to, whatever works. A little less contrast. Pull our highlights down a little tiny bit. Get our shadows back up. Bring down our blacks. Texture. A little bit of clarity helps too. Vibrance for sure. And some more saturation. Already, it's looking good. We'll do an overall instead of trying to paint this one, because we feather out these radial filters. I'm going to oversaturate it just a touch. And a little more exposure too. There we go. Done. Let's pull the luminance of our reds down a little bit and then desaturate those as well. Yeah, boy, that looks pretty good. Maybe we'll do a grad filter from the top down. Yeah, when you add vibrance, you get that sort of blue filter into the reflections, and that is a nice kind of reflection of the sky, which is, what you want. There we go, a little more blue there, help those windows. Don't forget the bird. I don't think I know what that means, Mike. I don't see a bird. I'm looking for. Oh, are you pulling my leg again? Toss a vignette on that one too. But man, that's definitely one for the Fooled Me Award. Bird. Oh, the bird is the word. Okay. Got it. I think a little bit of aqua in the mids isn't a bad choice either. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Everyone's messing with me today. Speaking of birds, I take the dog for a walk on the same route every day. And around this one tree on the street, there are like dozens of giant bird dirt. And it's got to be like a hawk or some sort of bird of prey that is in this tree because there's not as many squirrels around that area as there used to be. And man, oh man, I'm like, I want to see this bird. I love birds. Birds are like definitely one of my favorite animals. I also really like sharks and dolphin. No, I don't know. Birds are definitely on my list. Okay, since this is the last photo of the night, um, let's take a look at it full screen here. Yeah, I wish I could show you the whole thing. But that looks really good. I'm pretty pleased with this one. This show is weird. Now this man's talking about birds. Anyway, that is a great looking Jeep. Let's before after. I think we made it look pretty good. Before after. Whole thing, because it's sort of a weird crop. Before after. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I like that one a lot. That is also equally good photo. Trevor Lee, thank you very much for your submission. Um, Man, we got through a lot tonight. This was a banner evening. Thanks to Ed Main, RC Cinematics on Instagram. Be sure to check him out. Bird photo editing episode on the horizon. If you send me photos of birds, I'm not doing them. Let's go through all the photos we did today. Starting here with Jake Hatcher. Go full screen for all of this portion. Do we have time for a speed round? It's pretty late. Let's hold off on that one. We'll do 2 speed rounds next week. How's that sound? Before and after. Hi, Moose Jaw. Before, after. And then on to Kyle Roberts. Before and after. Before, after. Definitely some improvements there. Tyler Robinson's good looking kind of mashup here. Before, after. This nice one from Joel Hull. Before, after. Highway to Hell. Before, after. The bright green truck OJR's is the FC, Mighty FC body. Corey DeHaan's JK Capo Max. Before, after. Before, after. And Trevor Lee's JK before, after. And then Ed did all of these photos for me. This one from Just RC, before, after. Before, after. Rowdy Yates, you can send your submission to submissions@scalebuildersguild.com. Yeah, number 1 or number 2? Number 1 or number 2? Jerome Simons, also corrected by Ed. Before, after. This one from RC Adventurer, a very custom Wraith. Before, after. JL from David Prill. Before, after. Love these sun rays. That's pretty awesome. Looks really good. Greg Lozer sent this TRX4 with a scout body on it. Before and after. And finally, Stephen Davis's Chevy. Before and after. So there we go. A pretty banner episode, I'd say. To get through 13 photos is pretty good. I'm feeling pretty happy about that. Thank you, everybody, for watching. It's always a pleasure to do this. 2021 for the live streams is looking pretty bright so far. So thank you for all of your submissions. Keep them coming. Ed, RC Cinematics on Instagram, thank you very much for your participation tonight. Real pleasure to get some photos corrected by you. I'd love to figure out a way to get you correcting live at the same time. So we're definitely going to have to figure that out at some point. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. Thanks to Quack RC, John Derrigan, and Juan Rico for your contributions. Very kind of you. And be sure to pop back tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern for live stream takeover, where Josh and I argue about tiny trucks for 2 hours minimum. Always a pleasure, guys. Thank you very much. Tamiya USA, thank you for checking in, Fred. Very nice to have you on the stream. And definitely send us as many pics as you want. I'm more than happy to correct those as well. So yeah, thanks, guys. Have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow night.